Welcome back, everyone. It is Eric from Rare Candy. Today we are back checking out a very spicy take on Miltank today. So Miltank, it's of course a great card for the Miracle Body ability. Going to prevent damage done to it by Pokemon V, which is great because most decks running around are Pokemon V decks. But one of the issues Miltank faces is that a lot of these decks still do have ways at taking out your Miltanks, whether it's, the Reggie deck running around, Galarian Moltres, the Inteleon Evolution line. A lot of decks do still have some annoying ways at competing with your Miltank. And my thought today was, well, what if we built our Miltank deck around countering these Miltank counters, I guess, if you will. So that's what sort of led me to this whole deck idea that we have today. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of sort of what makes this variant so special of Miltank, just a quick heads up, if you guys can, remember to smack that like button, help feed the YouTube algorithm. And if you need any cards to complete this Miltank deck for yourself, you can check out our friends at PTCGO and you can use that coupon code RARECANDY at checkout to get yourselves a discount on your order too. And on top of that, Rare Candy's patrons not only had early access to this deck list, but also have their own exclusive discount code for even bigger savings. Or alternatively, if you guys want to win some free PTCGO codes, definitely check out our friends over at PokeXWord. If you haven't checked them out already, every Sunday they drop these really cool Pokemon crossword puzzles, and they really are challenging. Even a Poke Boomer like myself that has played the game for years now was still stumped by some of the crosswords that they've posted. But on top of that, they also give out free codes every month. And right now they are running a giveaway that is going to last until the end of June. And to enter, all you guys have to do is complete the survey on their website and follow the rest of the instructions over on their Twitter giveaway post. I'll have links to all this stuff down below in the description today. But let's jump back into our deck list for a minute. We actually have quite a few cards I want to point out before we get in some games today. So as you can see, the big, key component to this deck that we are trying to counter these other single prize cards with is going to be the Flapple evolution line. So Flapple, of course, has the Apple Drop ability where we can place 2 damage counters and shuffle this Pokemon back into our deck. So this is actually really important for a number of different things. This helps us ensure that we can always two-shot some of those beefier one prizers like Inteleon, but also this is a very important math fixer against the Reggie deck, which we can't really one-shot their attackers with otherwise. But also Acid Spray, not an awful attack either. Just for a twin energy, we can hit for 60. And this is going to allow us to one-shot Galarian Moltres, which otherwise would be kind of an annoying Pokemon to attempt to deal with. But even on top of this Flapple, we also do have the Dragon one for the Acidic Mucus attack for a colorless energy is 50 for each of your opponent's Pokemon play that has an ability. One card that has actually been popping up lately in Palkia decks has been the Ice Cube that walls against basic Pokemon, and Flapple is a really great way at just instantly one-shotting it, assuming they have a couple of Pokemon in play with abilities, which they usually do. And also on top of that, for UV Max, we have the Yveltal for the Cry of Destruction attack here. We can discard up to 3 special energy from your opponent's Pokemon. So between this Yveltal and our Ordinary Rod, to be able to reuse it, we can actually discard quite a few energy from our opponent's field. And hopefully at that point, our Miltanks will be able to sort of, pick up the slack from there and close out the game. The only other Pokemon we are running here is going to be a copy of Manaphy for the Wave Veil ability. This is going to protect our bench from bench sniping attacks, most notably Regieleki, that's probably the most prominent one, that and Radiant Greninja. Those are 2 cards we really do have to watch out for, especially because our Flapples only have 40 HP, so these guys are easy pickings if your opponent is playing some sort of bench sniping deck. But speaking of the Regi deck, that is going to be one of the decks out there that is most annoying for us. So we actually have some pretty hard counters to be able to deal with that. We of course have 3 copies of Avery. We need draw supporters anyway, so this pairs very nicely to deal with the Reggie deck because we draw 3 and we can discard our opponent's bench until they have just 3 Pokemon remaining, which is great because when they don't have a full bench with the Reggie deck, it's very difficult for them to get up and running. But even on top of that, we also have 3 copies of Temple of Sinnoh just to add insult to injury by turning all of their energies into just plain colorless energies. And this basically makes all of their attackers pretty useless outside of Regigigas. And even still, if we have a Cape of Toughness on our Miltank, they still can't one-shot us at that point. So if we ever do win the Stadium War with Temple of Sinnoh, it's very difficult for the Reggie deck to actually close out a game against us, even if on paper it seems like they would maybe have the advantage in the matchup here. And even though this does shut off our own special energies, you know, we only attack for 2 energy at a time, which isn't that big of a deal either. We also have 2 copies of Echoing Horn, just because we are discarding bench Pokemon from time to time with Avery, but even outside of Avery, sometimes your opponent's going to see that you're playing Miltank and they're going to discard excess basics they don't want in play. And this is a way we can force, you know, our opponent to fill their bench up and do more damage with our attacker. And we do have another annoying Horn card in the list too. That's going to be 2 copies of Yellhorn, just another card to help us sort of win the 2-shotting more against some of these Miltank counters. So if we are going against something like an Inteleon as an example, we can maybe confuse them and be able to, you know, maybe have them flip tails and not be able to attack into us. And putting us into confusion really isn't even that big either, because we do of course have the Flapple evolution line. So we can, you know, if something gets knocked out, we can promote Flapple, use Yellhorn, then use an Apple Drop to put it back in deck and pivot into our Miltank from there if we want to. So that is going to be the list we are going to be trying out today, but let's head in some games and let's see if all of our, you know, anti-Miltank counters, I guess if you will, are going to help carry us to victory today. Unfortunately, we do have to mulligan. I always hate mulliganing with these types of decks because you never want to reveal like all of your tech cards and the weird stuff you're playing. Like we just showed them, we're playing the Temple of Sinnoh plus Turfield. So that could be bad for us depending on the deck we're playing against. Like if this is the Reggie deck, we definitely don't want to reveal that we play Temple of Sinnoh. We want to bait them into putting it on stadiums, and mulliganing does kind of take that away from us a little bit. But we see a Sobble, so probably not the Reggie deck. See a Swing Heavy Ball. So I'm thinking this is going to be some sort of Palkia deck that we have here. Makes sense, makes sense. Now, I am a little bit worried, especially since they're going first here. Because these Palkia decks, even though I still would argue we have a good matchup against them, they do sometimes play a variety of different Pokemon that could hurt our Miltank deck. Like they have the Radiant Greninja, they have the Inteleon, of course, and then some of them are even playing Ice Cube, which is especially annoying for our deck since it walls against basic attackers. Okay, and it passed us. I think I'm going to Avery, if I'm being honest, guys. I don't want to lose both these energies. And I'm actually going to Avery before attaching Capture because I want multiple basics if possible. And I don't want to play Capture and thin a basic out of deck preemptively. So let's just go for the Avery here. Okay. Just get down Applin. Do they have energy and discard? No. So I'm not really too worried about Radiant Greninja this turn, I think. Well, maybe we should still go for the Manaphy just to be on the safe side. And we do have our Dragon Flapple. Definitely could be a very important card for us in this matchup. Okay, so we'll definitely do this. And I think at that point, we will just pass over to our opponent. And then next turn feels like a much better turn to go for a research. And depending on what they bench, we could even maybe boss, because right now we're still looking pretty safe from a KO on this next turn. Okay, there's going to be the Irida. So we might see a Drizzile or Radiant Greninja. I think one of the two. So we could see Radiant Greninja plus Capacious Bucket. Doesn't seem bad. That way they can start pitching away energy. Rare Candy. Oh, God. Well, that just got a little bit scarier for us. Was not ready for that. So I'm guessing they're going to go for Evolution Incense with Drizzile. Oh, Capacious Bucket. All right. Yeah, I was really hoping we wouldn't get hit with any pressure this turn. Because now things are feeling much, much worse. But nevertheless, guys, we're not going to get one shot here. We do have that Cape of Toughness. Now, if they have Tool Scrapper or Tool Jammer, I'm going to be irate here because then they can knock out Miltank, which feels absolutely awful. And at that point, it's like, what do you do there, you know? It's unfortunate we might have to get rid of Yellhorn. Because I would like to confuse Inteleon. There's Temple of Sinnoh. I'm not too worried about that, though I would have liked to have gotten value out of this capture energy here. But nevertheless, this doesn't hurt us too much this turn because we need an additional attachment no matter what. It's not like this was a twin energy. Okay, there's going to be the Palkia VSTAR. Now, I'm actually kind of cool with this because, well, if they did knock us out, there is a world where we could have gotten a return KO with the Dragon Flapple. Because they have plenty of abilities in place, so if we ever do need to get, you know, a way to respond to them, we do have some ways of doing that in our deck right now. Applin, okay, that's cool. I think I'll get down Manaphy as well. Or maybe Applin, because we could always use Flapple to put this Cape back in deck to use at later points. That seems good. And we're just going to... Yeah, we'll research here. Okay, so what do we do? What do we do? So we're hitting, what, 30, 50, 70. Probably get down this Miltank over here, too. But if they boss this guy, that feels kind of bad, but we have Birdkeeper, so it's fine either way, I guess. I'm gonna save the Flapple, because I don't know what I want to do yet with this hand on our next turn, so let's just go for the route. Okay, so we definitely need a counter stadium, or we need the Dragon Flapple. Either of those will do the trick for us. Because if we hit the Dragon Flapple, that's an easy one-shot. Or if we hit a counter stadium, we can attach Twin Energy, use Flapple to get the 20 damage we need to push us up to 160. But if they have... I'm sure they play another Inteleon here, so that's something we do have to worry about at some point, too. So I think I'm going to Bird Keeper no matter what here. We do get Marnie. That actually does kind of have me tempted to go in with a different attacker. But we would lose our... Like, I don't want to commit energy then whiff. Like, if we whiff the Dragon Flapple, I would like to have just attached energy to Miltank instead. And if we dump this hand, that sort of takes that option away from us. So I think we're going to sacrifice the 2 cards Marnie would give us just to go for the Bird Keeper here. Well, that feels kind of bad. If they have, well, luckily we have Cape. That's good. We'll get down Twin Energy. Quick Ball. We'll get rid of Echoing Horn here. Go for another Applin. So I'll do 20 here. And then we'll promote Applin. We're probably just going to have to sacrifice this guy. Because I really don't want our Miltank to take a hit here. So let's just do this. And past our opponent. So if they have Boss, what do? They could think about targeting down Manaphy, which actually could be decent for them. That could set up like a play for their Moonlight Shuriken. But also, they could be tempted to use Boss to bring up Miltank, but there's going to be a Melanie, so that's cool. Don't have to worry about that. Though they still could play Cross Switcher, which might be something we have to watch out for too. And they do still have their VSTAR power as well, I want to point out. So there is a world where they might retreat, attack with Palkia, since this is a turn where Palkia actually can get them a little bit of value. That way they can save their Inteleon. But there's going to be Starmie V, okay. And they do have the Cross Switcher, and they are going to target down the Manaphy, which feels pretty bad. But we do still have our Ornate Rod, and we still can just evolve these Applins and get them out of harm's way before Greninja comes up and just like obliterates them on the next turn. Starmie V, also kind of an annoying Pokemon because it does have Swift and it goes through any effects on our Pokemon, but luckily it's just 50. They will have to, what, 4-shot a Miltank with that, so this is potentially a pain, but not that bad for us. So let's just go with the Miltank here. We'll get down Capture Energy. Feels bad, but we can't guarantee we're going to draw into a turf field, so we do need to make sure we can attach. But I would like to get some Flapples here, get these guys out of harm's way, and we at least do get one, so that's good. All right, so let's go ahead and grab Flapple over here. So we're definitely knocking this guy out. So let's go ahead and put some damage over on the Radiant Greninja. Or actually even on this guy would be pretty good too, but... So I think for the moment we're going to hang on to this hand because they can now start sniping, and I don't want them to get chip damage on our Miltank. So yeah, we'll just go for the route, take the KO. And we get another Miltank, so decent prize here. Kind of bummed we were not able to get this Applin out of harm's way, but there's going to be the Greninja, so it looks like they are going to go for the Moonlight Shuriken this turn. Though they do still need one more. They need one more energy and discard if they want to get like the full value out of this Palkia. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to go through another Shady Dealings in Inteleon, which isn't fun by any means, but I think it's like, assuming we don't just like hit a wall or we start drawing dead, I think it's going to be easier for us to eventually close out this game than them. Luckily, we do still have 3 more Twin Energies, and we're bound to start hitting a Stadium sometime soon. And more than likely, they're not playing 2 Temple of Stones. I'd be willing to bet this is their only one, but if they are playing a second Stadium, they're just playing that. I don't think we're going to hit 3 against this matchup. So once we finally remove this thing from play, we'll be smooth sailing, hopefully. So what are they going to get here? I imagine a Capacious Bucket. And if they have Tool Scrapper, that could be bad. Scoop Up Net, okay. So it looks like they might be thinking about going in with the Inteleon instead of the Greninja. So I guess maybe they're going to, you know, use their ability, discard an energy, draw some cards, scoop it up, do the same thing again, and then eventually recycle all the energy with their VSTAR power. Okay, there's going to be an attachment there. Definitely want to hit our Ordinary Rod at some point. I would love to get back this Manaphy because, you know, Inteleon's chip damage isn't that much, but it is enough to be annoying against us. Alright, so they are going to knock out poor little Applin, unfortunately. Okay, and we do hit Marnie here. That's good. So I think we're going to do that instead of the Bird Keeper, just since we have all of our energy on the active here already. Okay, that's actually pretty good. I like that. And I think we're going to just prioritize the Manaphy. That seems good to me. And just go for the route here. So more than likely, we're probably not going to get hit with another Moonlight Shuriken at any point. Right now, I think the only threats, realistically, we're going to have to go through to win this one. It's going to be the Inteleon and the Starmie. And at that point, I think we're feeling pretty good, guys. Like, yeah, they're eventually going to take down... Oh, but they have the Ice Cube. But, I mean, the thing is... They've already popped their VSTAR power, so Ice Cube's not quite as threatening as it would have been several turns ago. But even if they do get this powered up, I'm still not too worried about it just because we do have the Dragon Flapple that can easily one-shot this guy. So where are they going to get off the Irida? Maybe a Sobble? If their hand is dead, they're only at a 2-card hand right now. And what item? Okay, yeah, Sobble. Oh, and they have an Ordinary Rod. Of course they do. That feels bad. So probably see them get back another Inteleon plus some energy here. Makes sense. But I gotta say, I'm happy if they bench the Sobble because that's going to keep our damage output sky high against their deck. Unfortunately, we might have to go for an Avery though. That's one thing I don't like about our next turn. But we do still have, I think, 1 Echoing Horn. Yeah, we do have 1. So if we do have to force them to discard some Pokemon, we do have at least one way at forcing one more back onto the field. I don't think they've attached this turn yet. So that is something we do have to watch out for. Okay, there's going to be Sobble. And what else do you got, homie? Because if they don't have energy, we actually could buy ourselves a turn of not being attacked by this Inteleon, which would be absolutely massive for our deck. Okay, and they don't have the energy, so that is amazing. And we might have to go for the Avery, but I'm fine. We have to two-shot Inteleon either way. So let's just go for the Avery. Discard their Palkia if they want to. Fine by me. Ugh, we still can't find Turffield. We found our Temple of Sinnohs, no problem this game. So I imagine we'll see Palkia. Okay, and the Palkia go. That's fine. So one thing I don't like about this, we don't have a good follow-up for the next turn, but I might, instead of attaching here, I might save this because if we top deck into the Dragon Flapple, there is a world where maybe we might want to use that. So yeah, let's just go for route here. Need to hit a supporter or a way to keep drawing cards here. Okay, another Applin. We can still kind of work with that. Boss. Okay, they're going to bring up this Miltank. Okay, and they're just going to buy a turn. Cool. I will happily take it. So let's just go ahead and probably attach here at this point. To start threatening an attack for the next turn. Though we could have maybe tried to attach a Twin Energy instead. Let's just go for the research here. Still have yet to find ourselves a Turffield, which is insane to me. But hey, we can at least start softening up this Inteleon here. And them not having energy yet again, absolutely massive for our deck. And just going to pass from there. And yeah, had we discard the powerful Colorless Energy, we actually could have attacked that turn, which feels kind of bad. But they've still been whiffing, so I think it still works out well for us here. And the 20 extra damage is cool too, because right now we're hitting, what, 30, 50, and now 70. So that is going to ensure a two-shot with our Miltank. So I got a feeling, guys, once we go through this Inteleon, even though they put another one back in deck, I don't think we're going to have a whole lot to worry about. Okay, research makes sense. They've had kind of a bad hand here for a little bit. Okay, and they did play the Rapid Strike Inteleon, so very happy to see that hit the bin. Absolutely. I feel like they probably don't bench anything for the rest of the game. I think that's like the best course of action for them. The big question though, do they have water energy? That's the one thing they are desperately going to be looking for, and they do not. So guys, I feel like we're going to run away with this one. I think it's going to be very hard for them to come back and deal with us at this point. So yeah, we'll go for the Apple Drop here. We'll just attach. Okay, go for the Level Ball. And oh yeah, we do need to bump their stadium if we do want to activate this powerful Colorless Energy. That's another thing I did forget about there. So yeah, let's just go for an Applin. And feel free to have a new hand. That's fine by me. Okay, and we do have the counter stadium finally. Man, it took us long enough, but we did finally get there. And now I feel like we're in a really good spot to close out this game, guys. I feel like it's going to be very difficult for them to power up another Inteleon here. And now we are only two Flapples away from just knocking this out and attacking into something fresh. Okay, there's going to be the net. I'm cool with that. That means they lose energy either way here. There's going to permanent Drizzile. Cool with that. No issue with that whatsoever. Okay, there's going to be an Inteleon. Do they have a way to attach another energy though? That's the thing. Because leaving this guy in the active for us to swing on it while they power it up doesn't seem like a winning strategy. Okay, Training Court plus Raihan. Okay, so getting rid of the Training Court getting rid of the Turffield actually kind of does feel bad because I do want to keep this thing in play. And them getting back energy is definitely kind of an issue, because that's the big thing they just need to close out this game, is just energy to keep powering up these Inteleons. Oh, but they're going to start powering up Ice Cube. I'm cool with that. Ice Cube is not scary because we do have, well, I shouldn't say it's not scary, but yeah, we're just going to start targeting that thing down with our Flapples. Because we're just 120, like once we get this guy up to 60 damage, we're just 120 energy away from knocking it out with the Grass Flapple. So, actually, you know what, guys? We should have Bird Keepered and then used Flapple. That way we could promote our Miltank that has the powerful color synergy. So, a little bit of a misstep on my part, but that's okay. So, sure, let's just do this. Okay, Turf Field is great to get. They are reliant probably on that training court to getting back energy to power this thing up. So, huge stadium bump that we have there. So, Quick Ball, we'll toss away Temple of Sin. Well, that's too late. We've already committed to it. I was thinking if they have another training court, it might be good to still save the Temple. And we're going to save the Twin Energy because we need this to knock out Ice Cube with Flapple at some point. So we're not doing a whole lot of damage to this Inteleon, but that's okay. It actually would have been a little bit scarier probably had they started to power this guy up. There's going to be Boss. Go for Manaphy. I guess that's cool. How much energy do we have left? We do have 2 powerful colorless energies. Yeah, that's the only thing we have left in deck. But they're going to get down to Palkia. Very interesting. Maybe they have a Melanie. Oh, okay. You're just kind of fueling our attacks, homie. So I'm not going to turn that down. So sure, we'll do this. Do we just hard retreat? They played 2 boss and 2 cross switchers. So where are the odds they have more cross switchers? I'm going to give them 1. Well, I think we want to keep putting on pressure onto this Inteleon. So I think unfortunately, I do want to attack into this. Risky getting rid of this Twin Energy, but it is what it is. Let's just go for the route. And I think we can eventually still knock out this Ice Cube just with our Apple Drops. Okay, there's Palkia V-Star. I'm not too worried about that guy. Their V-Star power is gone, so this guy is actually only just powering up our other Flapple at this point. Now we are out of our Twin Energy, so that's something we do have to keep in mind here. We did use our last one to retreat Manaphy, but we get the victory screen, guys. Yeah, I think we had that one wrapped up pretty good there. Yeah, so even when they're playing the Miltank, or I'm sorry, the Inteleon, the Ice Cube, the Starmie, the Radiant Greninja, like, it's still sometimes not enough to deal with Miltank's annoying ability here. Okay, we do have an Applin. Oof. Not a great opening, I'm not gonna lie, guys. There is a world where we might have to just go for a withdrawal, which feels awful. Ooh, yikes, we got an Aegislash. Aegislash is really bad for us because it has Sonic Edge, which goes through any effects on your opponent's active, and without a Cape of Toughness, they can actually one-shot Miltank. So, not liking that, but if we're ever able to get set up, there is a world where we can still deal with this guy. Because they're going to have 2-shot Miltank. Depending on what they're playing, they might have to... Depending on how many Pokemon they get in play, we maybe can 2-shot it as well. We'll have to see. But there's going to be a Radiant Greninja. That's cool. Now, good news is they don't know what we're playing yet. They did not see any attackers when we mulliganed. So they see an Apple and they're probably just thinking, what in the world am I playing against? Which would make sense. So they might not know to actually go in with the Aegislash. And really hoping they move Aegislash out of the active, that way we can Avery. Like, I would like to end this turn with Mew in the active, because then we could force them to get rid of Crobat and then a more important Pokemon as well. But even though this should be a good matchup for us, we're still in danger of just losing, if I'm being honest. We need to get another Pokemon on this next turn, ideally a Miltank. So I want to see them start saucering and everything over to this guy, but okay. We're not going to get benched out. That's good at the very least. So let's go ahead and do this. Thin a Flapple out of deck. And we're just going to go for the Avery at that point. Okay, this feels kind of bad. We don't have a Miltank, but we can withdraw, which is not ideal by any means. So let's get this down. If we attach here and they knock us out, that feels bad. And if we want to save powerful colorless energy, like, what I would like to do is attach this back here and be able to shuffle this back into deck and still have this energy to maybe attach to a Miltank if we top deck one. But I think we're just going to go for the withdrawal here, guys. I don't like that line of play, but it's kind of what we have to do at this point. And they would need 2 Metal Saucers, I think, if they want to get a knockout on us. Or they would need Attachment Metal Saucer on Dialga if they do want to get a KO with the VSTAR. So, yeah. Or is it... Or it might just be 1, I forget. Maybe we hold off on doing this. Well, let's just do it to both of these guys, and we'll go for the withdrawal here. And we hit Tails, which feels awful. So I'm kind of hoping they decide instead to attach to Aegislash and just take it slow and not pressure us a lot here. So yeah, Dialga definitely can knock us out. They just need an attachment plus a switching card, which definitely could happen. There's the air balloon, but they do still need an attachment on the active to retreat it still. But they just need attachment saucer, and that would get them there. But yeah, our opening portion of this game has not been treating us kindly at all. Okay, but they're going to attach back here, so now they're forced into needing a switching card. So we might still be able to buy a turn here, but there's Crobat. Cool with that. It's going to fill up their bench, allow us to do more damage with Miltank. Okay, so in Heavy Ball, we don't care about that. The only area where this game gets really sketchy is if they hit like 3 Metal Saucer and use their VSTAR power. Then we just lose the game. But I'd like to think that's not going to happen. But there's Avery. Okay, they're only going to hit 3 cards. We're good. I don't foresee them getting a switch. Plus, yeah, they would need a lot at that point. Okay, there's 1 Metal Saucer. Bro, if they have all 3 between that Avery and the Greninja, I'm going to be so mad. Okay, there's the net. Okay, but they're going to Intrepid Sword. That is great. I'm just happy we were able to get this energy kind of safely out of harm's way here. So let's do this. I'm going to say shore over here too. And we're actually just going to preemptively Turf Field because I want to draw into basics this turn. That's the big thing I really want to see. So I'm going to get down Yveltal as well because I might sacrifice this guy if I'm being honest. So let's just go for the research. Losing all of our Bossasaurus does feel bad, but it's fine. Well, with a hand like this, it's not so fine. So we'll see. But we'll definitely Quick Ball. We'll get rid of Temple of Sinnoh. Going for Miltank actually might be better. So go for the Apple Drop. I think just on this guy, Aegislash really is the only threat we're kind of worried about here in this game. And I think we're just going to sack the Yveltal. I think that's what we want to do. Okay, we'll do this. Grab Applin. Let's see. In terms of supporters, we've used 2 draw supporters. So let's see how many we have left in deck. We have 4, 6, 7, right? 7. Oh, so we actually prized a few draw supporters, which means we might be drawing dead here for a little bit, which is not really what I want to see. So yeah, we're just gonna do this, guys, and we're kind of banking on this Yellhorn to sort of carry us for a little bit. And I will say this, in earlier versions of this list, I actually had these Yellhorns as Pokegears, and in this situation, that would definitely be significantly better than this Yellhorn. But you figure a deck with like 12 physical draw supporters, you shouldn't draw dead. But every now and again, you get hands like this, and you're just like, yep, I wish I played Pokegear. And we get hit with the Marnie. Okay, bless. Thank God. We definitely needed that. Okay, so what do we have here? What do we have? Still nothing, but this at least did get us 4 cards closer to a draw supporter at least. So hey, we'll take it. Okay, Training Cord, that kind of feels bad. Allowing them to get back energy to power up Aegislash is not what I want to see. Good news is we do have Cape of Toughness. So that will allow our Miltanks to be a bit tankier. We have not hit any Twin Energy yet, so that's another thing we could hit here soon. And we've only seen 1 Saucer from them at this point too. So just gonna promote this guy. Okay, don't care about the Yellhorn on Dialga. Dialga is really not a threat to us. So let's just go for this guy. Go for under Applin. So we're just trying to get a bunch of damage on this guy since the Aegislash is definitely the big threat that we're kind of worried about here. We'll do this just in case they do have the attached double saucer. We don't want them to get a KO on Miltank. And we'll just pass from there. So things are definitely a little bit sketchy. And I'm kind of bummed we did rearrange the order of our deck, because now a lot of those dead cards that we had before we got Marnie are now rearranged. There's Bossaurus. So they're probably going to target down our Applin. That would make sense. So Metal Saucer on the Aegislash. That's fine. We just need Twin Energy, or hopefully a draw support that gets us into Twin Energy would be great. Okay, not really what I wanted, but is what it is. And I'm just gonna have to pass, so things are feeling pretty bad right this moment. Good news is I only have 7 cards left in deck, so there is a world where maybe we can deck them. But once this Aegislash gets up and running, it's going to be really difficult to stop this thing. We do still have 3 more Cape of Toughness, so that's good. That will basically double the amount of turns it's going to take for them to get a KO on our Miltanks. So we just need every turn possible for them to whiff the attack on Aegislash. Avery, that's fine. It's going to get him down to 4 cards in deck. That's really big. Okay, Counter Stadium. Feels bad. I think this is our second turf field. So just need them to whiff the saucer. That's what I want to see. Okay, amazing. And we hit Birdkeeper, so that's good. So let's go ahead and, well, we'll get this down. Sure, we'll do this. We'll do this. And we're just going to pass. But we still don't have a whole lot going on. Really wish we would have been able to keep that Applin alive. Okay, so we'll just feed them the Miltank here. That's fine. So I think we're going to go for the Yellhorn on this next turn here. We need to be able to attack with this Miltank. That's the issue. And I don't want to confuse this guy. Now, if we top deck Birdkeeper, that'd be a great top deck here. We do not. Okay, so let's just go for the Yellhorn. Confuse both of us, and at that point, we are just going to pass over to our opponent. Well, how many switches have they used? Not too many. So we're going to bench this thing and pass. They only have 2 cards left in deck, guys, so if they want to not deck out, they might have to Marnius, which would be amazing for our deck. Okay, escape rope. Kind of figured that was coming. Sure. Yeah, we do this. They probably just harder treat. That would make sense. Okay. I guess they're... Oh, but they're going to Marnius. Fantastic. Love it. We are going to use... We are going to lose a Yellhorn, but we might finally hit a supporter or some energy here. Okay. Actually, pretty good hand. Getting the powerful Colorless Energy plus Echoing Horn, absolutely clutch for our deck. Because now we can safely two-shot this guy. So they're going to get really close to winning this one, guys, but I think ultimately we're probably going to have this, unless they play some weird, janky healing cards that I was not foreseeing. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to get a Crobat back in play, Echoing Horn. So that seems pretty good to me. And we have the powerful Colorless Energy. Yeah, I kind of like where we're at with this. So yeah, let's just go for the Marnie. Okay, and we'll get down Applin as well. And we'll just go for the route, I suppose. And yeah, that's going to be the KO on this guy. And now, I actually don't know how they are going to win this one. Like, even if they knock out this Applin, I don't even care. And we get the victory screen, guys. So yeah, the Aegislash, it was kind of scary there for a minute when we were dead drawing, but, you know, just having the one out to Miltank is not enough for a deck like ours that's playing like 4 Miltanks. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it today for our Miltank Flapple deck. I will say this is like kind of bad timing posting this list because at the time of recording, Duraludon VMAX just won Milwaukee Regionals, and I don't think we actually can beat that. You know, outside of Duraludon, though, we have pretty good answers to most everything in the format. I think the only other thing I can think of that would be really bad for us is like a Reggie deck that plays actual basic energies. But outside of that, Miltank is going to be able to go toe-to-toe with most of the big decks running around, which definitely makes us a pretty enticing way to play this card if you're not too keen on the whole Blissey V deck idea. But if you guys did enjoy a look at this Miltank deck, of course, remember to smack that like button. And if you want to take that support to the next level, you can also become a patron at patreon.com/rarecandytcg or pick up some merch at rarecandytcg.com. Links to those will be down below in the description. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.